I couldn't resist the challenge here to make this dynamic so that no matter how many horses are in the race, we can calculate all the different ways that they could finish. So yeah, that's what I started off doing. I first of all thought I could use a batch macro. So I thought that I could kind of use the record ID that I've put on to give my horse a unique identifier. I thought I could just cycle through those and kind of have it appending to itself, but I kind of realized that, well, that maybe might have worked. It was probably easier to do with a iterative macro. So that's what I did. So in my iterative macro, then you bring the data in, and you join it to itself. So you append it to itself, sorry. So using a group by the record ID and horse from the original data set there, appending it together just so that when this data set becomes wider, we still just have these 4 horses to join them on, or append them on, sorry. And then we give it a match ID so that each match that's been made, we can sort of have this ID so that we know each row. And then I struggled for a long time to think, how can I, look across when there's multiple more fields? How do I get this to work? So I did a transpose and filtered out all of the horse fields there. I thought that would be the easiest way to do that. So I just left with the record IDs. And then obviously in this instance, in this top row, I want to filter it out because it's got matching values. So how do I do that? So I sorted it by the match and the value. Not so essential when there's only 2, but as soon as you get 3 and it's like 1, 2, 1, you need to sort it. So just using the multi-row to check by grouping by the match, then saying if the row above it is the same as this row, then give it a 1, otherwise give it a 0. So then when we sum for each individual matching row, if that's above 0, then we want to filter that out. So filter out to just the zeros. We're left with 12 rows. Good. That kind of, to me, feels like what we want, because we've got, yeah, that's what we want if we was just doing the 2 possible combinations there of those 4. So then, because 4 horses would have 3 other horses to join to, that makes 12. So I'm just trying to explain that logic there. And yeah, if we join on the matching fields, then get rid of anything that we don't need just from that piece of logic, and then append it with our max record ID. So at the moment, this is our kind of unique table, which is great. And we do a filter here to say if our max record ID minus 2 is greater than the engine iteration number, then we want to continue looping around this iterative macro. So, okay, why is it minus 2? So in this instance, that'd be 4 minus 2. So our engine iteration number starts at 0. So we would have it be run 0 times, 1 time, and then 2 times. Sorry, yeah, only 0 times and then 1 time. Because on the sort of first run through, it's going to add on that field as we just saw. So, and then the next one it will do another one. See, I'm still confused. I think it should be minus 1 here, but then we get too many in the output. So I'm also a little bit confused as to why it's that, but that's, oh, I see. So it runs 0 times, and then we go back to the start, and that's got 2 columns. And then it runs another time, then it's got 3 columns, so 3 different horses, and then it doesn't come on the third run, sort of, it just comes out this way. Ah, okay, cool. Cool, that makes sense now. Okay, so then what comes out of our iterative macro, if I can just show you there, is if I run it again with the 4, because I was playing around with it, then we get our 24 records that we're expecting. Awesome. So we just need a way to dynamically get rid of all these record ID fields. So we use dynamic select to just say it doesn't contain the ID in the field name. And that's how we get all of our horses out. So I could have renamed then the fields. Oof, dynamic way to rename first, second, third, fourth. Haven't got around to that. Don't think it's necessary, but just to prove that it works for you, if you add on another horse, I always used to call my horse Toffee in Harvest Moon. So we'll go for Toffee and we'll run that, and then we get to 120 rows this time. So awesome. Hopefully that was fun. Sorry if you were expecting the logic for the beginner challenge where basically you just have multiple appends for your horses, but I tried my hardest to make it dynamic. So thanks for watching.